If you're tired of your job, tired of wasting your potential, and tired of working for somebody else, this might be the most important video you watch all year. I went from being broke, in debt, stuck in life, and working a horrible warehouse job to making over $6,000 passively in 30 days, moving out, providing for my family, and traveling around the world. All with one business model that literally nobody is talking about. And no, this is not dropshipping, crypto, SMA, or whatever else everybody else is talking about. But before I say anything moving forward, I need you to understand that this is only for those of you that are over 18, working a job, you've tried businesses in the past but you didn't get much results, you're tired of investing in courses and all these other mentorships and not getting much success with it, you're tired of working a job every single day and wasting your potential, but you also want to have freedom, be independent, truly be able to have time freedom so you can spend that time with your family, but also provide for them. If this is you and you at least take two things off this list, then keep watching. If you're wondering how do I actually make my money, I run a business called Digital Synthesis that is the only business for the first time in history that allows you to learn and earn at the same time. You can easily hit that first 3K, 5K per month, 10K per month passively without showing your face, without needing a team, without having any experience, without working for 12 hours a day, and without needing a lot of money to get started. For the first time in history, we have a complete business model where AI does 90% of the job for you. Now, I'm not here to sell you a dream. This business is not easy, but it is very simple and it is a huge opportunity. So much of an opportunity that Iman Gadzhi is starting to promote this like crazy. And this only proves what I've been preaching about for the past 2 years, that this is about to explode. And I know exactly what you're thinking right now. Oh my God, this is just another guru talking shit about another opportunity. But I'm genuinely here to give you the actual sauce and all the strategies, all the tools, all the resources, and everything that you need on a weekly basis to actually succeed every single step of the way. I know exactly what it feels like to be on the other end of the screen, and if there's anybody that knows about this opportunity and what it is like to be in debt, to be broke, and how to actually overcome that in literally 90 days, it's your boy. Now you're probably wondering, who the heck is this guy? My name is Angelo. I'm a 21-year-old entrepreneur and I was born and raised on a small island in the Caribbean called St. Martin. My childhood was great. I had great parents, great childhood, went to school and all that good stuff. But being raised on a small island kind of limited me in the amount of opportunities I could have. So just like everybody else after high school, I came up to France for more opportunities and to actually get a better education. Now everything was cool, but not for too long because life kicked me in the ass. Not only did I hate university, but I also wasn't getting paid enough on a monthly to actually survive. So this forced me to get a warehouse job, and in spite of me having some extra money to survive, I kept getting into more and more debt because I didn't know how to manage my money correctly. Now from a very young age, I always had this feeling that I was meant for more, that I had the potential to be somebody in life. But because I didn't know how to manage this properly and I wasn't actually building it on my skills and advantages and strengths, I just kept spending a ton of money on courses and businesses, and I failed in every single one of them. Remote sales, copywriting, dropshipping, trading, all this extra stuff that you hear online, I tried it and it was basically a waste of time and money. But despite of failing, I never gave up and I kept taking more risk, kept getting into more debt because I really wanted to make this work, because I was not going to settle for working some warehouse job for the rest of my life. So after taking some time to actually think and sit down, I made a realization. Every single one of these businesses that I've tried, they do work. But why don't I just take all of the good stuff about all these businesses and mix it into one and make my own thing and I build it around my skills? And that is exactly how Digital Synthesis was born. This is the exact business model that allowed me to become debt-free, make over $6,000 passively in 30 days. So this is not counting the active income. Travel around the world, move out, and most importantly, provide for my family. And I'm not saying this to flex, I'm not saying this to be like some dickhead. I'm saying this because I know exactly what it feels like to be in debt. I know what it's like to go to sleep at night anxious because you don't know what the heck you're gonna eat the next day. But not only did this work for me, but it also worked for Kimberly, that is from the Philippines, which is not a very rich country, and she made her first sale in 7 days, which is absolutely crazy to say out loud. Digital Synthesis is a very simple and straightforward business model. There's nothing complicated about it, and if you ever make it complicated, it's literally your fault. That being said, let me just explain everything very quickly. So first things first, we are creating content. And we are creating content that revolves around a specific problem that a specific group of people have, and we are then providing them that solution through a paid digital product. And this exact business, this exact system not only made me over $6,000 passively, and this is just like a few screenshots, I've made way more money in active income, but this is also the exact system that helped Kimberly make her first sale in literally 7 days. So we hopped on one call, and literally after 7 days, she made her first sale, which is absolutely crazy to say out loud. So that being said, the system is very simple. You create content or you run ads on Meta, but you could definitely also use YouTube, Twitter, whatever platform you want. But essentially, we're creating content and also engaging with our audience in the DMs. Through the DMs and through the content, we're going to be promoting or basically offering our audience a free product that also helps them out with a problem that they have, whether that be making money, whether that be becoming healthier, whatever it is. This free product is supposed to help them out in their journey. With this free product, we're going to be also using a nurturing system on the back end to also make them want to learn more about the product, learn more about how they can actually solve their problem, and how you can position yourself as a solution for it. So you can either use a newsletter campaign, an automated email campaign, or use your YouTube, or use both like I do. That being said, all of this traffic that we're getting, whether it be from the DMs or through the email sequences with the nurturing system from the free product, we're all sending it right here to our paid product. This paid product is going to be the one thing that gets us to that $6,000 per month. You can either sell a low ticket product, so something for like $47, $97, or you can sell something high ticket like one-on-one coaching, for example. That being said, what actually are digital products? So if you don't know by now, digital products is basically a product that is in a digital form, computerized form. So things such as PDF guides, mini courses, ebooks, online coaching, online communities, templates which are trending like crazy right now. And the reason why we sell digital products is because you can get them right away, so you don't have to worry about shipping or inventory and all that crazy stuff. It is extremely convenient as well because you create it on your phone or on your computer, and you directly give it to your customer on their phone. They get it right away, so there is no waiting time. And most importantly, it's super cost efficient because you don't necessarily need to, buy the product first and then get some samples and a supplier and all this crazy stuff. You literally create it for free and you sell it for free infinite times. And not only can you scale it infinitely, but you can also make around 95 to 100% profit, which is absolutely crazy to say out loud. That being said, we need to actually choose a niche for our entire business, right? So if you don't know what a niche is, it's basically a topic, and it's going to be the main branding or the main messaging for our entire business. And this can literally be anything. And I see a lot of people overcomplicate this process because they want to get the perfect niche and they're not very sure about it. And trust me, if you spend over 24 hours in this exact section, which is literally the first step of the business, you're just procrastinating. You're just being a bitch at this point. I'm sorry to be a dickhead, but you should not spend over 24 hours, thinking about your niche, because it can literally be anything as long as it solves a specific problem for a specific group of people. So this can be anything about finance, health, traveling, parenting, nutrition, content creation, legal advice, education, language learning, relationships, and so much more. The only foundation that you need is that you need to have some level of expertise, some level of knowledge, some level of passion, or just interest in the topic. As long as you have at least just a 20% amount of knowledge or interest in the topic, you can make a stupid amount of money. That being said, if you still don't know what is going to be your niche after thinking about it for 24 hours, you have multiple strategies that you can use to actually come up with it. Number one is going to be understanding that you are the niche. So you can ask yourself these questions, and then from there you can choose your niche. For example, what advice would you give your younger 14-year-old self? If you ask yourself this question and you say, I would probably tell my 14-year-old self to stop playing video games as much or stop being on my phone as much and go outside and be present. You can literally make your entire page and your entire branding about phone addiction and being more present. That's it, very simple. It solves the problem of being addicted to phone screens and not enjoying life and wasting time, and giving out this dream or showcasing the dream of being present, being healthy, having better mental health, and all that good stuff. If that doesn't help, then you can most definitely think about what skills have you acquired these past few years. Have you gotten better at video editing? Have you acquired a skill of cooking? Have you gotten better at cleaning up your house? Have you gotten better at being more productive? Whatever skill you've acquired these past few years, you can literally sell that in a digital product format. And please don't overcomplicate this and really think about it, because a lot of times we have a lot of skills and knowledge to us that are very second nature, but a lot of people will pay stupid amount of money to acquire that same skill. For example, I know how to make money online. People pay me to teach them how to make money online. But if I wasn't teaching about this, I would teach people how to overcome procrastination, because I overcame procrastination. And that challenge that I overcame was very second nature to me. But the simple fact that it is second nature to me or to you watching this video, you should understand that that is a sign that you need to make that your niche. So don't overcomplicate it. Think about things that you're really good at naturally and just sell it in a digital product. That being said, this third question is kind of aligned with the last one, which is what challenges did you overcome these last few years? So did you lose weight? Did you gain weight? Did you become more productive? Did you learn how to budget your money better, right? You need to actually think about things that you overcame these past few years, or challenges that you overcame, even if it's just a breakup, and kind of come to this understanding that in life we have a lot of ups and downs, and during these down times we go through challenges, but those down times don't last forever, so we overcome those challenges. Just think about what were those challenges and how you overcame it. That's it. And then lastly, of course, this is probably the easiest one. What have you learned these past few years? Have you learned to be more productive? Have you learned to be more present? Have you learned to say no to people? Have you learned to prioritize your mental health? Whatever it is that you learned these past few years, you literally just teach that to other people. And if you really think about it, like professor teachers like in university, and I actually graduated university like literally like before yesterday, they don't know shit about what they're talking about. All they're doing is synthesizing and regurgitating information or a lesson that they learned, and they get paid for it. That's really it. And we're doing the same thing, but without actually scamming here, right? So if you actually want a profitable niche, you need to be able to target a specific audience with a specific problem. So this can be anything like people with ADHD, but not just any type of people. Are these lawyers with ADHD? Are these students with ADHD? Is it, what's what I'm looking for? Moms with ADHD? Whatever, right? It can be females with gastritis or busy moms, or like whatever. You need to choose a specific group of people that have a specific problem, and you need to kind of figure out what they're struggling with. And if nothing comes to mind, you can literally just type in your audience to ChatGPT and ask them what common problems do they have, and then help them out that way. But most case scenarios, you're going to kind of think about it yourself because you overcame your own problem. They're probably going to go through it as well. And then you also need to offer them a unique solution. So this as well can be a bit overwhelming because you feel like, oh, this actually needs to be unique. It doesn't have to. A lot of times just having a different approach to something just makes it unique, right? If you see that the common thing that people do when it comes to losing weight is that they need to go hardcore, and you actually found a way to lose weight without going hardcore, that makes you unique. That's really it, right? Like in my case, before I used to teach people how to make money online with hybrid affiliation, right? And because I made money being an affiliate, but I didn't make money as an affiliate the regular way, the common way. I wasn't affiliating for a physical product. I wasn't running ads, and I didn't have any crazy websites and SEO and all that crazy stuff. I literally did the opposite. I affiliated for a digital product, and I did organic content on social media. And that's how I made my money. So I taught people how to do the same thing, and they made money as well. So that is what made me unique, because I just use a different approach to the exact same system. So don't think about it too much. A lot of times a unique system or unique mechanism or unique solution to what you have to offer can just be a mix of multiple systems into one. So don't overcomplicate it. Just if you feel like you kind of need some help, send me a DM on Instagram or type in your solution or whatever you overcame to ChatGPT. Like you type it into ChatGPT and it'll tell you if it's unique and how you can make it unique, right? Once you have all of that figured out, you should be able to come up with this sentence and fill in the blanks. I help X people overcome X problem in 90 days, for example, without going to therapy via my unique system. So this is how it looks like, right? I help women regain their ideal bodies after pregnancy in 2 months without needing to go to the gym using my stay-at-home strategy, right? Or I helped introverted men find their dream girlfriend in 4 months without using cheeky pickup lines, using the future self technique, right? So take some time to kind of figure out what is going to be the problem you're going to be solving, what problems have you even solved yourself in your own life, and then kind of craft an offer very similar to this. And take your time. You can go over with ChatGPT and come up with this whole thing in literally like 10 minutes. So do not overcomplicate this. That being said, let's move on to the next step, which is actually understanding our audience and doing market research. Now that we have chosen a specific topic, we need to actually research it so we can know more about it and actually make some money, because you'll understand very quickly that if your audience does not align or do not correlate with your content, they're not gonna buy your product, right? Everything needs to be aligned, and you need to actually understand your audience so you can provide a good product. That being said, you have two options. You can either, number one, go the manual route, the time and effort route, and go to websites like Topic Mojo. You type in your niche and you analyze all the questions that pops up. You can either go on Reddit as well. Well, I believe in Topic Mojo, the last time I went, they actually give you the links to the forums. But you go on Reddit, you go on Quora, and you kind of find out what are the common pains, common problems that people are talking about within this whole niche. And you try to figure out what are the dreams as well. Like, what are the struggles, what are the thoughts, how do they live like on a daily basis? And you very quickly understand that through going through all these forums, but that takes time and that takes a lot of effort. So you can do option number two, which is going to ChatGPT and asking ChatGPT about your audience. So you can say, hey ChatGPT, I'm a content creator in the fitness niche, for example, selling a coaching program on how to lose weight in 9 days. Can you give me pain points, challenges, and dreams my target audience may have? Give me the perfect group of people who would love my coaching program about weight loss, share details like age, location, yada, yada, yada. Now, all of the prompts I'm going to be mentioning in this video is available in the link in the description with my free digital synthesis blueprint. Inside that blueprint, I literally do not gatekeep. All of my information and strategies that I use on a weekly basis to make money online is in that blueprint. So if I were you, check it out. All the prompts are on there and all of my resources as well. So check it out, it's in the description. So ChatGPT, in a matter of a few minutes, once you give it that prompt, is gonna give you all of the details of your audience, and you can use that as reference to create your product, but also to do content, which I'm gonna explain in just a bit. That being said, you also wanna take it a step ahead and go to Instagram or whatever platform you're gonna be creating content on, and you type in your niche on the search bar. So let's say it's nutrition. You wanna find the top 5 or top 10 creators in your niche when it comes to nutrition, a specific type of nutrition, that's very important. And you wanna find those creators that have above 5K, above 10K followers, and then analyze their content. So their messaging, their branding, their videos that got the best views, their hooks, the type of captions that they use, their stories as well, their highlights. You wanna analyze the whole thing within these 5 to 10 creators and kind of find the main, so things that they share in common, so you can use that as reference for your content, but also for your positioning as an authority later on once you start this process. You also want to add all of their best performing videos into a spreadsheet. So you can either take screenshots, have it on your phone and create like a small folder on your files, or create a spreadsheet on Google Sheets and copy the links to their most performing videos these past 5 to 10 days, which is extremely important. It needs to be the best performing videos these past 5 to 10 days. Because if you're gonna be replicating a video that got like 20K views and that did very well for that creator, but it was like a year old or 30 days old, it doesn't make any sense. You want to replicate something and kind of get an understanding of what's going on right now in your market, right? Now, moving on, when you're going to create your product, I want you to understand that you do not need to be an expert. You can simply synthesize / regurgitate information that you're getting from ChatGPT, that you're getting from Google, from experts in the field that you learn on YouTube, for example, and you give that back to your audience and you get paid along the way. I want you to understand that this is the only business in centuries that allows you to learn and earn at the exact same time. For centuries, including myself, I went through this, right? I had to, get podcast, listen to podcasts, read books, invest into courses to actually learn a skill or learn a knowledge, and then go about it myself and then get paid. This is the only business, digital synthesis with AI is the only business that allows you to learn something that you're already interested about and make money at the same time, because the information that you're getting from that expert field, aka AI, because AI literally has access to the best information from the best experts in the field. And they can literally take that information, give it to you, but you're also gonna give that back to your audience and get paid along the way. So I'm definitely gonna be explaining this a bit more, but essentially you can just use very simple tools such as ChatGPT or Perplexity AI. I actually really like Perplexity AI because it actually goes out there, gets the sources, and then kind of organizes everything very well. But you can do this manually as well and go to Google, go to YouTube, find articles and learn about everything manually, but that takes time and effort, and we don't really want to do that, right? If you're wondering how Perplexity looks like, Perplexity AI, this is the app, but you can also use the website. It's great, I love it. Now, this prompt right here is the prompt that you're going to be plugging into Perplexity AI or ChatGPT, so you can go out there and find the information, but also create the product at the same time. Keep in mind that whatever topic you choose, whatever niche you choose, You want to give that AI your existing knowledge and your existing expertise about it. So whether it be that you're gonna be talking about, let's say, increasing productivity for busy moms, and you are a busy mom and you was able to overcome your productivity issue, you want to give all of your ideas, your concepts, your skills, and your knowledge to ChatGPT and then tell it to enhance your ideas, enhance your concepts, and make it better and then create a digital product. And I'm not gonna read this entire prompt, but you can see very quickly that right here, it says, well, you're gonna be inputting your core ideas and the overall structure of the guide, and then it's going to even create a unique mechanism for you. So if you're still struggling with kind of coming up with a unique mechanism, it's going to create it for you, actually let you know how to go about it, right? So in this entire prompt, you'll see very quickly once you type it into ChatGPT or Perplexity AI, it will give you the entire outline and structure of the digital products, whether it be a PDF guide, for example, in this context. It will create a PDF guide for you with all of your ideas, but also all of the experts and what's what I'm looking for, all of the expert ideas and insights from other experts in the field. That being said, I actually created a whole YouTube video, which is actually my best performing video so far, where I go about it live. Like I explain how to create a product live, how to craft it live, and then how to create a whole email campaign on the back end to actually sell it. Keep in mind that the prompt that I use in this video is not the same that I use in the other video that I just mentioned. So I'm gonna be popping that video right now on the screen, but this prompt that you're seeing right now in the prompt in this video is not the same, but keep that in mind. If I am going to be honest, this prompt right here that I'm talking about in this video is the best one. So it's actually going out there and synthesizing information and then creating a product at the same time. Now that you know what's gonna be your niche, who exactly you're targeting, what problem you're going to be solving, and what's going to be your digital product, it's time to actually craft it, create it, and sell it. So what we're going to do here is we're going to create an ebook made by ChatGPT. Now, keep in mind, quick context, we cannot leave ChatGPT do this entire thing. It can't 100% be copy-paste because people don't want to buy something made by AI. They want to buy something that is made from an actual human being. So keep in mind, you're going to have to modify a few things here and there, maybe add in your own words, your own knowledge and expertise, which is the most important part, and actually go crazy with this. So let's get started. I'm going to be using a list of prompts in this video. I'm going to be leaving them in the description as well, so check that out. The first prompt that we're going to be using is, you're a professional book writer and editor with 30 years of experience. Generate a title for an ebook about X topic. So in this case, it's going to be how to burn fat without going to the gym. Keep in mind, you need to modify this to your niche and your audience. Then the target audience for this ebook are 23-year-olds. In your case, it might be 50-year-olds, 19-year-olds. You can modify it that way. I'm just gonna press enter, and in a matter of a few seconds, it gave me one title. Now, of course, if I don't like it, I can say, give me 10 titles. But as you can see, just give me a few titles that I can simply choose. I really like the lazy fat loss. Sounds very good, sounds very simple. It's probably gonna catch a lot of people's attention, so I'm gonna use that one. Now I'm going to move on to the next prompt, which is great. Generate a detailed book intro of minimum 400 words, including a book structure. Now, once again, I'm going to be leaving all of these prompts in the description, so check that out. But essentially, this one is really here to kind of start creating an outline and a structure. That's really what we want to use AI. We don't want to technically copy paste what it's saying, but mostly use it as a structure, as a skeleton for what we're actually going to be using. So I'm simply going to press enter, and as you can see, it's going to start not only generating me a title. I actually did a mistake and didn't copy the right prompt. I'm going to put it right here, and now that I have the good prompt, now you're going to see it's going to start giving me an introduction. Now, of course, I added minimum 400 words, but if you want, it could be 500 words, 600 words, however much you want. Writing everything down. I'm not going to let it do the whole thing just for the sake of saving some time, but you get the idea. Now, this is a very thorough introduction, so I'm going to tell ChatGPT, make it shorter, like 200 words shorter. Just gotta give it some time, and then as you're gonna see, it's going to start giving me this entire introduction. Probably use the same information, but make it way shorter and way more compact. Of course, just like I said before, you want to take your time, kind of go over everything quickly, because it might not necessarily respect the prompts that we gave it earlier, or use the right information that you want to add in. So whether it be that you want to add in a specific recipe or a specific strategy that you used, you can definitely add it in there and say, hey, add this strategy and remove this information, so on and so forth. The next part is generate 6 book chapters and list them. So once again, this is just to get an outline, to make the process go quicker and more organized for the AI. The next prompt is going to be generate chapter 1 with detailed information and more than. I'm actually gonna make it shorter here. I'm gonna add less than 200 words, just so we can go quicker in this video. But once again, if you're gonna be adding a price on an ebook, you wanna make sure that it's very thorough with a lot of information and it's easy to read. So don't be afraid of adding in 1,000 words, 2,000 words, and what's not. As you can see, it already made chapter 1, giving a bunch of information. Now, of course, this already looks very AI-ish, so we're gonna want to humanize this later on, but at least we have the structure, right? The next prompt is to simply repeat it for every single chapter. So we have around 7 chapters-ish. We're gonna just repeat the same prompt as, okay, write chapter 2 with detailed information over and over again. Now, once that's done, we want to proceed to one of the last prompts, which is essentially to write a conclusion. I'm gonna add it right here, write in a 100-word conclusion. Remember, this is for 23-year-olds. The reason why I say remember this is for 22-year-olds is because sometimes ChatGPT is going to kind of forget or maybe dismiss some of the prompts that we gave it earlier, and we don't want that, right? We want the AI to actually follow our instructions so it can not only be easier to read for our audience, but actually valuable to them. Now, one of the mistakes that ChatGPT does in regards to a conclusion, it just kind of summarizes everything, and it doesn't use a call to action. Now, the reason why we are using a call to action is because this ebook that we're creating right now is going to be a free one. This is just to really put the foot in the game and to collect a lot of leads. Now, the reason why we're collecting everybody's emails and all of their information is so that we can send them emails, automated emails every single week, so we can then persuade them and convince them to buy our paid product. Now, the paid product is going to be the same thing if you want to. It could be a extensive ebook, a 100-page ebook if you want to. But instead of it being for free, you're gonna price it at $40, $50, $60 or more. And if we really want to increase our chances of making sales, we want to first provide value to our audience with a free product. We're gonna be using platforms such as Gumroad.com that's actually gonna allow us to collect all of these emails and automate these emails. But I'm gonna get into that in a few. Right now, what we wanna do is modify this conclusion so we can actually use it as a call to action. A lot of people make the mistake of just making an ebook for the sake of making an ebook, and not really using it to not only create intrigue and curiosity, but also persuade people to actually get your paid product. So as you can see right here, the call to action isn't super crazy, but it's simply saying, as you can see here in the end, grab the next ebook now and start seeing real lasting results. Now, of course, if you've already used certain strategies in here with clients or for yourself, you want to add in some pictures, you want to add in some testimonials or reviews or stats that you have. And this is something that you need to do once you've created the entire ebook. You take your time. So of course, once you have all your information, you can create a Google Doc and just copy paste all the information, and then from there you take your time and humanize everything. All right, now that you've taken your time and you read the entire thing, I hope that you modified it and humanized it with your own expertise, your own knowledge and information. What we're going to do now is actually craft it and package it on Canva.com. Now, before I actually go ahead and show you how that looks like on screen, you need to understand that you have 2 choices. You can either, number 1, use Canva.com, which is 100% free. They have a bunch of templates and it's great for beginners. Or you can, number 2, use softwares and websites like Designer with 2 R's that basically creates your entire ebook with AI based on the content of your ebook. So all the information that you got from ChatGPT, you copy and paste it into the website and it makes the whole thing for you. Only thing is, it is a paid software. So if you're not willing to actually invest into that, but if you just want to save yourself some money and you still just want to get things done very quickly, you're not worried about designs and things of that nature, then Canva.com is definitely going to be your best bet. So let's head over to Canva.com and right here on the search bar, ebook template. Now the great thing with Canva is that it has so much templates and it makes things super easy for you. So whether it is that you're doing something in regards to fitness, or whether it be about business or content or nutrition, as you can see right here on the right side, you have all of these templates that you can definitely use. Now, in this case, just for the sake of going quicker in this video, I'm going to choose a random one. Let's say this one. And then click right here and then go and customize this template. All right, now that we're on the platform, as you can see, it looks very simple, very clean, and we don't even have much to modify. Now, of course, my name is not Olivia Wilson, and I definitely want to change this with my information. Now, you don't necessarily have to introduce yourself and give like an entire about me section in your ebook, but it is a good idea if you actually want to not only build a connection with your audience, but help people understand that you are an actual human being that actually wants to help people out. So this could be a good opportunity for you to do that, but it's not necessary. So in this case, I'm just going to delete this entire page, but all I have to do right now is just a matter of changing and removing and adding what they want. So let's say, for example, I don't want this entire page, this entire ebook to be white, and I want it to be, let's say, the color yellow. I can press the color yellow and then go and change all, and then all of the pages of the ebook is going to be yellow. Of course, if you have like a specific brand coloring going on your Instagram page or your YouTube, definitely use that to your advantage. Now, of course, I'm gonna take my time and take all the information that I got from ChatGPT and add it in here. So in this case, instead of saying understanding your clients for chapter 3, I'm gonna go right here and add in the truth about fat loss. So let me get that right. Just copy, go on Canva, and then paste. If you're doing this on phone, this might take you a bit more time. It might be a bit more uncomfortable, but you can still get the job done. Everything that I'm doing on the computer right now, you can definitely do it on your phone. So now that I have the title for chapter 3, even though you can take your time and modify everything, I'm just doing this for the sake of going quicker with this video. I'm gonna just copy this information just as an example that ChatGPT gave me, and then add it in right here. Boom. I'm just gonna zoom in, and you can see now that the information that I added from ChatGPT is there. Any titles that I want to add, I can definitely do that as well, and just add it right here. And now, of course, you can definitely modify this. So if you only have like 3 main points, you can just delete them. You can delete this one. You can delete this one as well. You can delete this one too, and then just organize it however you want. So if you want to have this in the middle, you can. If you want to have this on top, you can. If you want to leave this in the bottom, you definitely can. There are no excuses. There are no limitations to what you can do with Canva.com. Now, if you want to make it a bit more animated, maybe make it look a bit more nice, you have access to hundreds of icons. Now, these are the ones that I've used lately. Let's say, for example, that I want to use this one, which is a random one, right? But it's just an illustration of a PDF, right? If you ever want to use emojis, you definitely can use emojis as well, even though this is a paid feature. But most emojis that Canva offers, they're free and they look very nice, very clean. So just a matter of you taking your time and exploring the entire interface. If you want to add arrows, if you want to add circles, whatever it is, you can definitely do that and make it look nice. Another software website that I actually suggest that you use in this entire ebook creation process, I'm going to type in it right here, is Napkin, Napkin.ai. Napkin.ai is a great platform, and I'm not affiliated with any of the platforms that I mentioned in this video, but it's a great website, because all you need to do is actually type in some information inside the website, and then it creates icons and images that actually demonstrate everything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sign in here real quickly just to give you an illustration, because what you can do is take some of those icons and that information, well, those images, and then add it in to your ebook. So I'm just simply going to remove this and paste. And as you can see, I just hit on this blue icon right here, give it some time. And then all I have to do is just choose whatever icons they suggest. So in this case, as you can see, they just give me like this nice, cool, simple design. All I have to do is just press it, and normally I'm able to download it right here on the top right. I click export, and then I can just choose the different settings and download it. Now I'm not going to do this for this specific ebook because I'm just showing you guys the examples and the things that you can do. But if I wanted to just paste it, copy and paste, I'm just going to copy it and just put this right here so I have some space. Control V, and there you have it. The image is nice and clean. Now, of course, it doesn't look great because of the contrast of the colors and things of that nature, which I can definitely change right here, right? I can put it on light mode, dark mode, or I can go right here on the settings and then change the colors and all of that good stuff. All right, so that's enough rambling in regards to the ebook. The goal here is to just take your time, modify everything. If you ever want to add pictures, you can do here on uploads, and you can just replace everything. As you can see right here, I just replaced it. I could change the size of it. Very simple, very easy to understand platform. Now, once that's done, you want to go on the top right on share. You go on download. You can download it on JPG, PNG, however you want, but I highly suggest PDF because we really want to give this out as a document so people can take their time and read it on their phone, offline and online. So once that's done, we're going to press on download, and in a matter of a few seconds, the document, the PDF, is downloaded on my computer, as you can see right here on the top right. So now let's actually move on to publishing this ebook on Gumroad.com. So now that we're here on Gumroad.com, you sign in, you take your time, you add in all your information, your name, and all that good stuff, and you're gonna go right here on new product. Now, of course, we're gonna add a name to our product, which we actually got from ChatGPT. So I'm gonna go all here in the beginning and just choose this one, Lazy Fat Loss. Paste it, and I can just add the word guide. Very simple, very easy. What I add here is an ebook as a PDF. And then from there, I can add my price. Of course, the goal here with this specific ebook is for it to be free, so we can collect people's emails and then promote our paid product later on through the emails. So you can just add 0 for now, but whenever you are ready to actually make your paid product, which is basically going to be the same product as the free one, but better with more information, more strategies, and resources. Whenever you're ready to add a price, you just add in 25, or if you want to price it at 150, you can price it at however much you want to. I definitely suggest that you price it in between $27 to $47. I feel like $47 is a sweet spot if you're actually going to be doing a paid product. But in this case, it's free, so I'm going to leave it on 0 and go on customize. Now, of course, you want to take your time and ask ChatGPT to give you an entire description, so just really kind of hyping up the product, really giving out some of the features inside and all that good stuff. Add a cover, so I'm just going to show you here for the sake of this video. I'm just going to scroll down, find a quick image like this one, for example. Well, let's use this one instead, because I already modified everything. You will actually make sure that whatever image that you add is very horizontal and that it looks nice on the platform. If it's too big, if it's too wide, if it's too square, it doesn't look nice, right? So I actually like having it on a horizontal. The thumbnail as well, I already had it pre-made. I could just add this one right here. Boom. As long as it's 600 by 600, you're good. And if you feel like you don't know how to do this, it's very simple. You can use websites online, they can do it for you. Don't even worry about it. Now, of course, I'm gonna add in the pages. So let's say it's 6 pages long. Boom, that's done. I can add a quick summary right here. No problem. Now, the real sauce here is to actually add in the content. I'm gonna press on save and continue and then go on content. In regards to the content, you can do whatever you want in here. If you wanna actually copy paste it, all the information that you got from ChatGPT, you can. But I don't suggest that, right? Because it's not gonna look nice. What I'm gonna do here is add on computer files on the insert button and then add my PDF. As you can see, the entire PDF that we were working on is here. I'm gonna open it. In a matter of a few seconds, I'm gonna upload to the platform. And there you have it. All you have to do now is if you want to add a promotion code or a call to action for your paid product, you can add it in right here. For example, if you want to lose weight as a beginner, use code 555 for a 15% off on my what's what I'm looking for? Full blueprint. Boom. There you have it. Very simple, very easy to understand. If you want to use this to promote your Instagram or to promote something else that you have going on and give an information that you kind of forgot to add in on the ebook, you definitely can. You have a bunch of options right here, so do not be afraid of exploring that. Once that's done, all you have to do is just press on publish and continue, and your ebook is ready. All right, so first things first, congratulations on actually reaching to this point of the video. A lot of people would have probably clicked off at this point, but if you're here, because I know you're serious. Now, the next step is to actually use email marketing on Gumroad.com to actually nurture our audience. So the free product that we created is for the sole purpose of collecting people's emails. So thankfully, one of the things that I like with Gumroad is that whenever somebody buys your product, whether it be free or paid, it automatically collects their emails. So whenever I want to send my audience an email, I definitely can. Whether it be 100 people, 2,000 people, I definitely can. If I want to make them automated and schedule it, I definitely can. If I want to create a specific workflow, I can as well, which is essentially what I'm going to teach you right now. When you get somebody's email and somebody actually opts in, they get your free product, now that you have your email, what you want to do is create an entire email sequence campaign so you can actually not only let them know who you are, what you do, how you can help them, but give them more tips and value so that they can actually want to buy your paid product. Now, the easiest way of doing that is by simply going on new workflow, and whenever somebody purchases your product, right, I can just give it a random name. I'm just gonna call it MDS just for the sake of this video. Once they purchase your product, all you have to do is go on save and continue, and then I'm gonna add in her right here, create an email. So right after they get your email, they get your product, you can send them an email automated. So right here, I'm just gonna put a random subject and then write an email right here saying, hey, thank you so much. Thank you for getting a product, so on and so forth. Now, you can either write this yourself or you can use ChatGPT. And this is what I'm gonna show you right now. So one thing that you definitely want to avoid with ChatGPT is using the same chat for the same thing, well, for different subjects actually. I'm gonna create a new chat right here and use this prompt. Check the link in the description for this prompt. You're gonna be able to use it whenever you want to. You can modify it however way you want. But in this case, We are still in the same subject of losing file for 23-year-olds, and here's the prompt. You're a professional email copywriter with 30 years of experience. Generate a 7-day email sequence about my ebook on subject for X audience. The email should be relatable, human, and readable in 3 minutes or less. First email should be welcoming the lead. The next 5 should be about who I am, how I help people, and answering common misconceptions. The last should be a strong call to action to purchase my $47 mini course. Now, whatever paid product you have on the back end, you definitely want to add that in there. Now, one thing that you need to make sure that you add on this prompt is ask me questions so you don't make this random. Now, the reason why we tell ChatGPT to ask us questions is because it doesn't have any information for you. This is a brand new chat with a brand new AI, so to say. So you want to give it all information so it actually does the email the right way. You want this to be as human as possible. I'm simply going to press on enter, and after a few seconds of waiting, it's going to start asking me questions about what I do, who I am, and what's inside the paid product. Now, I'm going to take my time, answer some of these questions, and then you're going to see that in a matter of a few seconds, they're going to give me an entire 7-day email sequence that I can automate on Gumroad. So just like I told you guys, I gave ChatGPT some information about who I am, my product. Now, of course, I invented an avatar just for the sake of this video. As you can see, it created the 7-day email. It was actually creating it right now as we speak. Email number 1, welcome to the journey at X name. Now on Gumroad, unfortunately, you can't really add people's names unless I'm mistaken, but I don't think that you can. If you're using another software such as ConvertKit or System.io, you definitely can. But on Gumroad, you can't really add people's names. So I mean, add people's names as in like the insert button right here, right? Once you get into the digital marketing space, you know what I mean. Essentially, this entire email right here is just saying thank you for getting the ebook and just giving a bit more tips about how to actually lose weight or who he is as a person. This guy that I invented named Josh. All I have to do right now is just copy this right here and paste it into the workflow. Boom, the subject line as well, welcome to the journey. I'm just gonna fix it real quick. Just remove that, boom, fix this right here. Welcome to the journey. Remove this as well. And there you have it, like the entire thing is ready. All I have to do is just add my name here, which is Josh. My name is not Josh, but I'm just doing it for the sake of this video. And whatever information I want to change on this email, I definitely can. And this is the email that they're gonna get right after purchasing your free product. Once they get that first email, what you can do is add another email. If you want to send that email right after they get this one, or 7 hours after they get your ebook, or 12 hours after they get the ebook, however much time you want to be in between each email, you definitely can. Ideally, you want to wait around 24 hours in between each email. At maximum, you want to do like 2 emails at first, and then 24 hours in between each email. But once again, if you want to do like an email every 10 minutes, you definitely can. There's nothing stopping you, right? You can go right here, you can go on hours, days, weeks, months, and then you can just automate it that way. And the great thing is, just like I told you guys, ChatGPT gave us the entire sequence in regards to how I help people actually lose weight, common misconceptions, what you really need to actually burn fat, and then a call to action at the end to buy your paid product. You can take your time, copy paste the entire thing, change some information, and then publish it. And that's why I love Gumroad so much, because not only can you just use ChatGPT for these emails, we can also automate this entire process. Now, a last thing that I want to go over is that this is just an email sequence campaign, right? Once people have gone through this 7 days campaign, they're not going to be getting emails from you anymore. So what you can do is, once they've gone through that process, set it up in a way that once they've gone through the 7-day email sequence, you can create an email newsletter for your entire audience. So just like I said before, Gumroad automatically picks up everybody's emails and it collects it in one place. So as you can see right here, I'm going to go on new email, and then I can choose what audience. So people that have already bought my product, or people that have subscribed to my list, or just everyone that has ever interacted with my Gumroad page. And all I have to do right here is, once again, I could just take a random email that ChatGPT made for me, type it in right here. This is just a subject line. I'm going to put in, boom, just paste it, and then I can just copy this right here, right? Boom, boom, just copy it and paste it right here. Very simple, nothing too complicated, an entire email made by AI in a matter of a few seconds. Of course, just like I said before, if you want to modify some information, you want to add or remove something or use a specific tonality, you can definitely tell it to ChatGPT. Say, hey, make it more human, or make it easier to understand for 23-year-olds, or use a comedic tonality. Whatever it is that you want to add and frame your AI for, you can definitely do it. And one advice that I highly suggest you do is the same channel that you use for emails, keep using it over and over again. Because whatever modifications and suggestions you do to the AI is actually going to start understanding your voice, understand who you are as a person, and then craft your emails depending on the suggestion that you gave it before. So the same channel that you used for the ebook, or most importantly, like as you can see right here, this is for the ebook, but most importantly for the email sequences, you want to use the same channel so you can keep making it better and better over time. Whether it is that you want to make super long emails, or you want to use one-liners like I do, or you want to add like a bunch of emojis, you can. And over time, it's going to start remembering that information and make it easier for you over time. So you can literally just copy, paste it. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so right now we are on my Instagram, and these are videos that I posted literally months ago, but I'm going to be using this strategy again just as proof that this still works, and I still see people on Instagram make a ton of money with this. But essentially the strategy is very simple. You need to, number one, make content that is specifically targeted to your audience, and you also need to make it personal, pain related, or pain based / dream based. I'm going to explain everything in just a bit, but this is just a quick example, right? In this video right here, I'm going to make sure I don't add the sound so I don't get any copyright. The strategy is very simple. I literally call out my audience. I say in a video in big, if you are 18 to 17, tired of work, broke, and in debt, here's how to get out of that mess. So as you can see, number one, it's super targeted to my audience. Number two, the pain that I mentioned inside the video is super targeted to my audience. And then I mentioned the solution in the caption. So one of the reasons why the whole read the caption strategy works so well on Instagram, even to this day, is because while people are reading the caption, because it's a 5 to 6 second video, people take longer than 5 to 6 seconds to read the entire caption. So what happens is the watch time retention increases, which tells the algorithm, the Instagram algorithm, that people actually like the video. If the watch time retention just keeps going up and up and up and up, that means that your video is actually valuable and is actually solving a problem. And that is going to get you even more views and even more money potentially, because people keep watching the video over and over again. But what it is doing is, to the algorithm, people keep watching the video, but in real time what's going on is that people are just reading the caption. Now the caption section is extremely important because of course my hook did the job, it did pretty well, but the caption in and of itself as well not only needs to be valuable, but it needs to be also human and relatable, because once again, this is specifically for my audience. So I mentioned how with my story specifically, I was also in debt and I also was tired of work, and I tied the solution to my story but also to them as well. So in a very storytelling / human way, I just talk about my story, talk about what I did to actually fix it, the results that I gotten, and then a call to action to get access to my free blueprint, which, by the way, if you want all of the strategies that I speak about here explained in even more depth, plus all of my resources, including my content vault and my prompts, check the link in the description for a full free blueprint that explains how this business works, plus all my strategies and resources. So check the link in the description for that. But essentially, the same product that I'm talking about right now, which is my free product, I gave it out here as well, and I made it a huge call to action. You want to, of course, in every single one of these videos, to get that extra boost of engagement, to do a call to action to a free product that you have, whether it be for people to follow you, to DM you, or to comment, or to get your free product. If people don't have a reason to engage with your content, then you're not gonna get any views, you're not gonna get as much results as you could possibly get. So the strategy when it comes to captions, once again, is just very simple. You want to make it human, you want to make it relatable, you kind of want to make it sound like a conversation, but also provide value. So once you have those things checked, you should be good. Now keep in mind, this could have been done with AI. I prefer having a more of a human touch and actually get to practice my copywriting skills with it. But if you don't want to, you don't have to. And I'm going to show you the exact prompts that you can use to actually make this happen. But let's move on to the next video. In this video right here, I use a very relatable and casual hook that's not super crazy. As you can see, I use POV. And as you can see, like on the background of the video, especially with every single one of these videos, I'm not doing anything crazy. I'm literally just recording myself. I'm just recording 5 to 6 second videos, what we call B-roll videos, of me just doing like regular tasks. I'm reading a book on my bed, or I recorded myself while I was on a call with somebody. You can see with this video as well that we're going to talk about very soon, I'm literally on my bed, working on my bed with my computer. So the strategy is very simple. You don't need to record yourself doing nothing crazy, right? But if you do want to do this faceless, I am also going to provide you the resources in the link in the description. So check the free blueprint for that, and I'm going to show you how to do it as well. But the strategy is still pretty much the same. And as you can see in this video, I'm not doing anything. I'm literally just reading the book, have my hook on the screen, that I tell people to read the caption, right? So as you can see right here, I want to make passive income from home, but I'm lazy. So one thing, once again, that I know about my audience is that they struggle with procrastination. And what I do is I bridge that gap between me as an authority, but also making it relatable to them because I understand them. I know that they want to make money online, but I also know that they're lazy and they want a way to make money online in a very easy, safe way. And that's exactly what I'm providing in the video. So a very easy, simple strategy. It's really just about understanding your audience. So as you can see here, I bridge that gap by being relatable by saying that I'm lazy too and I made 11K. And then I tell people to read the caption exactly how. And in the caption, I literally just, it's like I'm speaking to a friend. I just type in what's going through my mind. Now, of course, you can use AI like Claude or ChatGPT to kind of do this entire structure for you, and you give it your own ideas and you can literally copy paste it. But I prefer to use my own creativity and copywriting skills to just literally speak my mind. So I'm just talking about how my audience, just like me before, used to daydream about passive income and didn't know how to get started, but was also overwhelmed by a bunch of side hustles. And then I gave out all of the things that I did to actually get there, right? And then, of course, once again, at the ending section of the caption, I make sure that I create more value and I sell the dream of this business. And then I tell people to just, at the end, to follow me and drop a comment so they get my free product, aka my digital synthesis blueprint that explains the entire business. And inside that lead magnet, there's also another call to action for my paid product, which at the time was a mini course on how to make money as an affiliate, right? So the strategy, once again, is very simple. It's really not complicated. It's very easy to understand. It's just a matter of you having the right hooks and just using your captions in a very intelligent way to build that connection with your audience. Now stay tuned because I'm going to give you the exact prompts that I would use to actually create a very similar caption but also get very similar hooks. So stay tuned for that. That being said, let's move on to the next video. So this video as well is very simple. Once again, I'm literally just on my bed in my old crib and I'm literally just opening my computer as if I'm going to work. And this is literally just a 5 to 6 second video. So I just say, I want to quit my job and work from home. How do I start? And it's very simple. Like I'm just using the Notes app on iPhone, giving it all the steps, and I'm just flashing it on a screen for 1.5, maybe 1.2 seconds. And the reason why this strategy works so well is because, once again, this increases the watch time retention on your videos. When people watch these videos and as they see the information flashing so fast, they need to actually hold the screen or watch the video multiple times to read the whole thing. And they can either do that or read the caption. Now, I prefer forcing people to watch the video so watch time retention goes up, but I also make a call to action at the end for people to read the caption. As you can see right here, I say start today and follow plus comment X, and I'll send you my free guide, which at the time, free digital synthesis blueprint, explain the business even more. But as you can see, like on the caption, I literally don't do too much because I already gave all the sauce, all the information, all the value in the video in and of itself. Within the caption, all I did was kind of build a bit more hype and build a bit more value when it comes to the business in and of itself. And once again, I repeated the call to action. So it's a very simple strategy. It might seem complicated, and you can either do this on Canva or literally just take screenshots of your Notes app on your iPhone. So you just go on your phone's app, you go on your Notes app on iPhone, you type in the information, so the headline and the information. And then if you want to add a picture, you go on Canva and then you add it that way. So you screenshot it, go to Canva, add it in, and then you literally just export everything you make in a very simple video on CapCut. Now that you understand the strategy, how exactly could you create this with AI? And most importantly, how can you do this faces? I'm going to explain everything in just a bit. So let's go right here on my screen. So as you can see right here, this is the free blueprint, which once again, I've said again, the link is in the description. I literally give out all the information on this business, how to get started, how to create content, all that good stuff. But following exactly the strategy that I give out inside this blueprint, we can just take this hook right here and give it to ChatGPT so it can give me more hooks related to my niche, right? So in this case, it's specifically not about my niche, it's for a client. All I'm gonna do is just copy it right here. So I already have it copied right here. So I'm just gonna let this load for a bit, copy it here to ChatGPT, paste it, press enter. And the prompt is very simple. Give me 20 hooks related to gym bros and identity anxiety and make them personal like this. I want to become financially free but don't know how, but apply it to gym bros and mental health / identity anxiety. Once again, this exact prompt, you want to modify it and make it personal to your specific audience, their pains, and your offer. But in this case, it's about gym bros and mental health. In a matter of a few seconds, you can see I already gave me 20 hooks that I can literally use for my videos for the next 2 weeks. Now, some of these hooks are pretty good. Some of these hooks sound very much AI. So you want to take your time, read them, and add a little touch to it. So if you want to change a few words here and there, if you want to make it shorter, you want to make it more human, you most definitely can. If I were to tell ChatGPT, them make them shorter, type in enter, I'm gonna get those exact 20 hooks one more time, but they're way shorter. And the great thing with having short hooks is that if you're using the right hooks, you're using the right words, I mean, people can get hit very quickly. For example, a hook that I could use could be POV, muscles don't equal masculinity. That in and of itself is gonna intrigue a lot of gym bros, and they're like, I thought that having more muscle was gonna make me be more manly, but essentially it's not the case. When you use very controversial hooks, when you use very controversial themes in your videos, you're gonna get crazy amount of views. I've gotten at least 2, 3, 4, 5 videos go absolutely insane when it comes to virality. Like definitely get over 50K or 100K views because I'm literally just using controversy. Like for example, I was literally shitting on dropshipping, which in my opinion is absolutely trash. And in those videos, I literally just say why dropshipping is absolutely trash. And then I make a call to action for people to learn a business model that is way better than dropshipping. But in the hook in and of itself, I say that dropshipping is absolutely trash and unreliable. So when you give people a hook, when you use a hook that is absolutely against the normal understanding that people have about a specific topic or your market, you're going to go absolutely crazy and get a ton of views, but most importantly, a lot of money if you know how to convert those views into dollars in your pocket. That being said, now that I have these hooks I can definitely use on my videos, I can also use the same caption strategy that I mentioned before to get people interested. So all I'm gonna do is use the same caption that once again is available right here inside the Digital Synthesis Blueprint. You can check that out, and all I have to do is copy paste this exact prompt and just modify it real quick. So the prompt is very simple. Create an Instagram caption that includes 3 tips about this topic that will provide values to others. Explain each tip in 90 words or less. Add a call to action at the end for my free guide. Make it human and relatable. Now, of course, in this specific prompt, the one thing that I would modify is for you to add in the hook that you chose. So let's say, for example, that you chose hook number 1, which is I got ripped and still hate my reflection. All I'm gonna do is just copy it. And then instead of saying about this topic, I'm just gonna add in 2 points and then paste in the hook that I chose. And then from there, it's gonna be able to craft a way better caption. And one of the reasons why I say that AI needs to make it human and relatable is because a lot of times AI is just gonna literally just give you a bunch of information and that's it. And on Instagram, you need to come off as a human being, because if you're using AI, great, you most definitely can, but you need to make your brand human. If I even wanted to, I could say instead of making it human and relatable, I could say make it conversational. And that's gonna use a storytelling format within the caption. But all I'm gonna do now is just press enter. In a matter of a few seconds, I have an entire caption that I can literally copy paste and add it onto my video. So as you can see right here, it's using a caption opener, giving out the sauce, and then a call to action. Now, of course, this is way too short, and I can literally just tell ChatGPT, make it longer and conversational. Like, you're absolutely free to modify this prompt and modify the result that you get from the AI as much as you can. There are no limitations when it comes to AI. You can do whatever it is you want and modify it however way you want. As you can see right here on the screen, it is literally going crazy right now, giving out all the sauce, making it superhuman, and using a storytelling format. As you can see, just to really just highlight some of the aspects here, it says, this was the hardest one. When your identity revolves around being the fit guy, losing definition can feel like losing yourself. This is just a quick line, and it sounds human. It sounds relatable because the AI actually understands my audience. Alrighty, in this video, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to replicate and post a video live. So this is 100% live, 100% raw. And I don't want any of you guys finishing this mini course and feeling lost, like, okay, I don't know what's the next step. I don't know how to actually create content. No, none of that. I'm giving you guys this entire strategy live. So first thing that we're going to do is go on our search bar. And I would usually search for the affiliate marketing niche. But because I'm teaching people how to affiliate for digital products, I'm going to search digital products. So I'm going to type it right here. Digital products. Oh, excuse my writing, guys. Digital products. So what I'm going to do is simply just search it and see if I find anything interesting. Now, first thing first, this entire page is already pre-qualified for viral videos, because if they're on the Explore feed, it's probably because it's gone viral before. Now, they might not be eligible to actually replicate because it hasn't been posted these last 30 days. I'm going to go right here on accounts and see if I find anything interesting.
All right, I'm gonna keep scrolling. Okay, let's check out this guy, right? Has 54K followers, super great following. Check out his reels, pretty good views. Let's see if he has anything viral. Okay, 500K, 600K. Okay, so this video is pretty simple and it's about mostly self-improvement. I don't want to talk about that, so let's take this video for example. Okay, how to become financially free in the next 45 days. Okay, so this is a great example because he's not even showing his face. So this is just a great demonstration just so you guys stop making excuses and think, oh yeah, I gotta show my face, I'm shy. No, you don't even have to show your face. So let's check out his caption. Okay, nothing crazy, pretty simple. So what I'm gonna do is take a screenshot so I can kind of get an idea of what it is that he's doing. Screenshot that as well. And I'm gonna take my time to copy this caption, but on my computer, right? So of course you're free to use whatever strategy you want, but I prefer copying the caption on my computer and then sending it to myself, and then I'll change a few words here and there. I'm gonna record everything and show you guys how that looks like in real. All right guys, so I just recorded the video and I actually realized that I already had videos pre-recorded that were very similar to the one the guy did online. But just because I love you guys so much, I recreated it live. So I'm gonna show you guys how that looks like right here. So essentially this is supposed to be only a 5-second clip. So first thing first, we're gonna mute it, of course. And try to get the best part possible. So as you can see, I don't even show my face, right? Okay, so it's not anything crazy. That's why a lot of times I prefer just having one clip, because ideally you want, when you cut to the next frame, it's already synced with the trending audio. In this case, I don't know yet. What I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna get rid of this and just make this clip a bit longer, right? So now shorten this right here and make it 5.1 seconds. I find that 5.1 seconds is just the gem right now on Instagram. So nothing crazy, I'm just writing on my book. So first thing that I'm gonna do is let you guys know that I'm gonna adjust this a bit. Now, before you add in some crazy effects, some crazy filters and things of that nature, know that the more you edit a video, the more you're going to lose quality. So just keep that in mind. So right here, I'm just gonna make it slightly darker. So whenever I put the text on the screen, it's gonna pop a bit more. Around 14 should be fine. And because I want the quality to just improve a bit, I'm just gonna add it right here to around 38, right? I find that the magic number in CapCut, sharpening wise, with this specific feature is around 30 to 50. Anything above that, you gotta be very careful because the video can look a bit more weird. Now, in regards to the exporting quality, should I add a zoom, guys? Let's see. I'm gonna add a zoom just for the sake of this video. Boom, hit right here. Zoom in just a bit. Zoom in just a bit. Okay, let's see how that looks like. Okay, so pretty simple, nothing crazy. Just the fact that I added that zoom can get people a bit more, could like catch their attention because it's already zooming in, right? So export wise, you don't need to necessarily export it in 4K 60 FPS because Instagram is still gonna reframe the video back down to 1080p 30 FPS. So I'm just gonna leave it as it is and export it. Now that that is done, I'm gonna head back to Instagram and find a trending audio, or just use the trending audio that he used. Alright guys, so I'm back on the video that he posted, and thankfully this is already a trending audio, so I can simply reuse it. And as you guys know, this was posted back in May 5th. So it hasn't been a month yet, so it's still eligible for me to replicate, of course. Let me see if I can hear the audio quickly. Okay, nothing crazy. What I'm gonna simply do is tap on audio. It's already trending, as you guys can see. Press on use audio, go right here and select the clip. Now, once you select the clip, Instagram is gonna kind of pre-process this, and you need to let it pre-process for multiple tries. Like, so what I mean is that usually you will let it load once, but you need to let it load 2 times, 3 times, sometimes even 5 times, so the quality can be very good. If you don't let it load multiple times, sometimes the quality tend to, you know, kind of degrade a bit. All right, guys, so before I actually continue, I already noticed that he isn't using the same audio, right? Like if I go right here and listen to this, he's not using the same audio, so I guess he simply used it because it's trending, lowered the volume and let the video of his original video, like the audio of his original video, be louder, right? That's totally fine. What I'm gonna do is simply go on my reels and see if I can get another viral trending audio. So let's see if he has anything else as well. Okay, let's see. Okay, so he's actually using this trending audio, but I don't want to use that one. Yeah, so he's kind of cheating at this. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Okay guys, so this audio really isn't bad because it's pretty chill. It's similar to the one that we were using before. Now this audio I mean, doesn't have too much uses, doesn't have too much reels, and hasn't gotten crazy views. So ideally I would kind of not use this, but just for the sake of this video, just to prove to you guys that as long as the video is trending, it's going to perform. I'm gonna go right here. Alright guys, so after letting the video play multiple times, you know, I probably replayed it like over 4 times if I'm not mistaken. What I'm gonna do now is add a hook. So he used something similar to how to be financially free in 45 days. What I'm gonna add right here is simply how to be, I'm gonna change the font, how to be financially free, how to be financially stable, I mean, in let's say 60 days, right? So the idea is still the same, but it's still a pretty strong hook, right? 60 days, and I'm just gonna add read caption. Should I put read caption or full strategy below? Let's see what works best. I'm just gonna add here's how. I've noticed that whenever I use here's how, the video tends to perform a bit better. I'm gonna drop it right here. Make it slightly smaller and sync it to the sound. Now, first thing first, I'm just gonna change this right here and add it around halfway. Okay, yeah, that's not bad. It gives a lot of time for the person to kind of really read the hook. So what I'm gonna do is simply leave it right here and sync the beat drop to the read caption right here. So let's see how that looks like. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add an extra hook just for the sake of keeping people engaged, because people's attention span are extremely short on Instagram. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna add another text without having your own product. There you go. I'm just gonna make this super small right here. Boom, it looks aesthetic as well. Is it straight? Okay, it is. And then this right here, just make it slightly, put it right under. Boom. Okay. I think I should add it right here. Let's see how that looks. I think right here is fine. Let's see. Yeah, very simple video, nothing crazy. So now let's move on to the caption. So before I actually continue, I'm gonna go ahead, copy his caption, copy it right here, and live just change a few words. Okay, I'm simply gonna save this as a draft and go back on his post. Boom, boom, boom. I'm simply gonna screenshot this. Gonna screenshot it. Boom, boom. Save it. I'm gonna go back on my pictures. And actually, what am I doing? I'm gonna copy this entire thing. Oh, my bad. Copy this entire thing. Why can't I copy the entire thing? Anyways, I still got the idea. So I'm gonna copy it, head back to my post on my drafts right here, and head over to the captions, right? Paste it. Of course, I'm gonna space it out. Boom, 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 boom. Alright guys, now I literally just took my time and corrected his entire caption because one, I mean, it made sense, but you could really understand and really see that his first language isn't English, and that's totally fine. Right, so let's read it quickly. Actually, let me add a caption starter, which is extremely important. Let me see, full explanation below. Boom, boom, boom. That's the first thing that they're gonna see. All right. You want to become financially stable, right? In other words, you want to make money online, travel the world, don't want to show your face. If yes, then you're in the right place. You can make money while traveling and without showing your face I'm just gonna remove this. By simply promoting someone else's digital product. Because selling digital products don't require any specific skill or experience. You only need to work 1 or 2 hours a day anywhere in the world. Digital products like ebooks, courses, community software, and more. So you don't require any manufacturing or shipping delays, no calls, no team, no stress. If you're serious about becoming financially stable, follow and comment live, and I'll send you the free guide. God bless. So very simple. Now, it's not word by word what the other guy said, but the strategy, the format of it is still the same. So let's preview it one last time. Okay, so as you guys can see, just in a matter of a few minutes, I have an entire post that I literally quite literally just copied from somebody else and just changed a few words here and there. So the process is very simple, very straightforward. If you guys have any questions, just DM me on Instagram. And actually, because it's almost my posting time, I'm just gonna share it right now. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be showing you, aka teaching you, how to create or how to use the snapshot strategy on Instagram. It is very simple. It's very easy to understand as long as you don't overcomplicate it and don't overwhelm yourself. I'm going to try to make this as direct and as easy to understand. And keep in mind that this is not a strategy that you need to follow. This is just optional if you ever want to make something a bit more engaging. You want to test something out. So let me just show you guys a few examples. Now, usually with the snapshot strategy, you have two options. You can either, number one, you can use B-roll plus hook on a screen, and then every second or every 1.2 seconds, you have some screenshots of your notes app, and you just add it on there, sync to the beat, call to action at the end. That's it. Option number two is a bit more engaging. Instead of having the notes app, you have more B-roll, and then you place the text on the screen with the value. All right, so let me just show you guys option number one. All right, so very easy, very simple stuff. Hopefully you guys got to hear it, because one of the main things with this strategy, at least personally for me, I like to sync it to the beat. Every single time that we switch the value, so step number one, step number two, step number three, it's synced with the beat, whether it be a snare, flare, or bass, whatever, right? I've seen a lot of people on Instagram still get a lot of engagement despite of them not syncing it to the beat. So it doesn't really matter, but to me it does, because I'm a bit of a perfectionist. All right, here's option number two. All right, so once again, very easy, very simple stuff. The video is pretty short, but as you can see, the only thing that changed was the fact that instead of screenshots from my notes app, I used B-roll and then just some text on the screen, and I placed it depending on the space that I had on the screen. All right, ladies and gentlemen, very easy, very simple stuff. I'm going to now teach you how to do this step by step. Let's start with step number one, which is choosing the right audio. All right, so step number one is choosing the right audio. Once again, guys, we're going to be syncing everything to the beat of the song. And I need you guys to keep in mind that this is going to depend on your niche, right? If you are in the fitness niche or in the finance niche like I am, you're in good luck, because we can definitely hype this up with a lot of audios that are very hype and exciting, and then sync it to the beat or the bass. If you are in the mental health niche, for example, where you're probably using like a lot of sad songs or ethereal type of songs on the background, then ideally, not even ideally, but you probably won't even use this strategy, right? And if you do, it's not going to be synced to the beat. So you can definitely skip to step number 3 or step number 2 right now if you're watching this and you're in the mental health niche. So if you are in a very exciting niche like I am, here is what we're going to do. Now, you have multiple options when it comes to getting to the audio section of Instagram, but I like to keep it very simple.
I just go on plus, just choose anything random. I go to press audio. I go on saved because I already saved a bunch of audios. If you don't have any audio saved, then just scroll on Instagram for some time. Go on the explore page, on the algorithm section, or on the reels section, and then just scroll for quite some time. You're gonna see a few trending audios. And if you follow some of the stuff that I gave inside the guide as well, your algorithm is already going to be framed to your niche. So you're gonna be using things that are very much used in your niche and that your market is already used to. That being said, I really want to use a beat that is very much not too slow, but not too fast. Like this one, for example. Alright, I think you guys get the idea. Ideally, I would sing this. Ideally, I would sing this to the bass. Alright, but there's a bit too much space in between the bass, and I want it to go pretty quickly. So if I had to choose a note, I'm probably gonna go with this one. Yeah, so there's way less space in between each bass, which makes it 10 times easier for me and way better for the engagement as well. And yeah, so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna choose this audio and then go ahead and create our video. Now, of course, before I go ahead and do the whole thing, what you want to do is right now is screen record. So I'm already screen recording right now, so it doesn't make any sense, but you would do is you just slide down, press the screen record, and then just press play. And then you just leave the entire audio play out, or at least the majority of the audio that you know you're going to use. And then we're going to add that into CapCut. All right, so step number 2, what we're going to do is we're going to just do the pre-setup to the editing. So we're going to head over to CapCut, and on CapCut, start a new project. And then we're going to choose the trending audio. So normally on your screen recording, you should have at least, the audio that you just screen recorded is going to be right here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add it and then chop it up to the section where I knew I was recording the audio, right? So this is probably going to take quite some time, so give me a sec. So I can get rid of this. Always remember, guys, when you're editing your videos, always remove the CapCut. Instagram doesn't really like watermarks, so whenever you have the chance to remove it, remove it. Alright, so I already know that the video is probably going to be about 6 to 5 seconds long. Then again, this is going to depend on the amount of information that you're going to give inside the video. But just for the sake of going quickly, I'm just going to delete this. Probably going to bring this down a bit, just slightly, because I don't want the intro to be too long. Once again, we want to catch people's attention very quickly. Alright, so now you might be thinking, what the heck do we do now? So what we're going to do is we're going to press on the video and then extract the audio, because we only want the audio. So I'm just going to scroll here for a bit until I find it. So right here, I'm going to press on extract audio. And now that I have the audio, as you can see it right here, all I'm going to do is just literally just remove this, because I don't need it anymore. All I need is the audio. Alright, now let me show you guys the next step now that we're actually on the editing software. Alright, so the next step to this entire process is simply getting our screenshots. Alright, so ideally you want to be using the Notes app on your phone. If you do not have the Notes app, let's say you have an Android, you can use templates on Canva for free. I think the best ones are a paid feature, so you might want to consider investing into Canva. You're going to use a lot in this business. But if not, then just go ahead with strategy number 2, which is basically using B-roll. I'm going to show you guys how to do that in a bit. But the main one is just using the the iOS Notes app. So I'm going to go with my Notes app right here. And I already kind of did this just to go quickly with the video. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go right here, type in whatever I want to type, and then drop the value. Just boom, 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 drop the value. Easy, simple stuff. I'm going to press done, screenshot, fix it real quick. Just make it drop right here, press undone. Boom, that's done. Let's move on to point number 2. Nothing crazy. Once again, just screenshot, fix it real quick. Boom, press undone. That's it. Let me just do a number 3 just for the sake of this video. So I'm gonna go number 3. automation, and just go ahead and just drop whatever, just blah 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 blah. You guys get the idea. Once again, just screenshot, boom, fix it up real quick. And what we're gonna do now, if I were to just go directly on CapCut and just add this, it's not gonna look the best. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna go on Canva, which is probably an unnecessary step because you could do this on CapCut, but I'm just very comfortable with my routine. I like sticking to my routine. So I'm gonna go on Canva. I'm gonna go on Instagram Story, which is basically just the resolution template. And then I'm gonna upload the screenshots that I just took right now. So I'm gonna go on device, boom, just choose these 3, upload it, and then choose number 1 once it's done. All right, just choose this one, fix it up because I want this to be in the center of the screen. All right, boom, add it here right in the middle. I might even make it a bit bigger because it needs to really pop up on the screen. Keep in mind that the more you zoom in, the lower the consistency. So the quality of the screenshot that you took isn't going to be the best. Let's just change the background. So go on color, go on black, boom. That's it. Very easy, very simple stuff. I'm just going to swipe to the left to get another one. As you can see, the background is already ready. Go on number 2, fix it up real quick. There you guys have it. Very easy, very simple stuff. Now, if I wanted to, I could most definitely add an image, add an icon, add a logo, whatever. You are free to do it because Canva is an app where you can edit, do whatever you want, so you can do that. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to press on download. It's going to take a bit, so be patient. Just take this off. Boom. The images are ready. Now that the images are ready, we're going to head over to Canva and add them into our project. So remember the project that we just did. As you can see, the audio is already here. All we need to do now is, of course, add our screenshots. So normally when I go on photos, I should see these 3 actually. I'm just going to select them and they are there ready to be used. Now, before I show you guys exactly how to go about the editing and sync it to the beat, let me just take a quick break. Now that we have our screenshots ready, we need to sync it to the beat. Well, before I do anything, of course, I need to add my B-roll and the hook on the screen. So what I'm going to do right now is add another clip. Just go on the plus sign and just choose my B-roll. Let's say, for example, I want to use this one, for example, lasts about 5 seconds. But what I'm going to do is, of course, make sure that this video has no volume, no sound. And make sure that this is as long as the intro. So just listen for just a bit. Just take a moment to just listen to the beat. All right, so right there, once we hear that final bass drop, that's when I'm gonna finish this video right here. I'm just gonna whoop with my fingers, just fix it up. There you have it. Now, of course, I could play around with this so it can turn out exactly where I want to. So just play around with the right side, left side, whatever, it doesn't really matter. I'm just gonna drop it right where it was and just make sure that everything is synced to the beat one more time. Okay, now that the intro is done, what we're gonna do is, of course, sync these screenshots to the beat. Now I'm already expecting is that about 0.5 seconds. Let's just check one more time. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna play around with it, just zoom in a bit and just drag this down to the left, probably around 0.9 seconds. Let's see if it's synced. Alright, so it's not that bad. It's a bit late or a bit too early, I don't know. I'm just gonna make it slightly shorter just to be safe. Let's see, 0.8 seconds. Let's try again. Alright, so 0.8 is pretty good. I'm not gonna, get super perfectionist about this because I'm just trying to go ahead with speed and just show you guys how it looks like overall. So for the rest of the beat, it's pretty repetitive. It's pretty much the same thing. So all I'm gonna do now is just make sure that everything else is 0.8 seconds. I'm gonna zoom out so you can kind of get to the next one.
So make it 0.8. Boom. This one as well, as you can see, is 3 seconds. Bring it down to 0.8. And normally it should be synced to the beat. I'm actually just gonna shorten this one as well because I'm not trying to make this video super long. Very simple, bro. This is so simple I even started stuttering. This is very simple, extremely easy stuff, guys. There's no need to complicate it. If you want to add more value, you most definitely can. If you want to add a call to action, which you most definitely should, do that. All right, just do it on your notes app, cook it up, write it down, screenshot it, and add it in here. Now I'm gonna show you guys real quick how to add a hook on a screen. Now you could do this on Instagram. You could export this video, go on Instagram, and then add the text based on Instagram directly, but we're on CapCut, so just why go over that hassle? I'm just gonna go on text, add text. So I'm gonna say I want to make money this summer. I'm just gonna go down, but don't know how. Very simple, very easy hook. And we're just gonna go on fonts. Just go on fonts, just the one I like. Let's just say this one. Pretty quick. Go on styles. I could choose whatever I want right here. This one. Let's choose this one because I like this one. Just make it slightly smaller. And that's really it, ladies and gentlemen. Like if I want to, I could of course play around, add it up right here on the top. Make it bigger, make it smaller, doesn't really matter. You guys get the idea, right? Just fix this real quick. Boom. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Very easy, simple stuff. Now, of course, don't mind the hook that I have right now on the screen. This is just for the sake of an example. You want to take your time, make sure that it looks nice, that I can properly see the text, that you can properly see the text, and that it makes sense. Now, one thing that I like about CapCut that I need to mention real quick is that whenever you're adding text or fixing up the clips, they have like this auto magnet system that whenever you're playing around with the clips, it automatically syncs up to this white bar you have in the middle. Just want to mention that real quick because you guys are probably going to be working with your fingers with this, which by the way, you can do this on computer and it's the exact same process. But essentially, you're going to be playing around with your fingers, and thank God CapCut has this system where they make it easier for things to just sync up. All right, so let's just look at the entire video one more time. Very simple stuff, guys. Very easy, very simple. Now, all I'm gonna do is export this video. I'm just gonna go on export. Boom. Normally, CapCut asks you if you want it to be 1080p, 4K, 60 FPS, whatever. I usually do 4K 60 FPS because that's how I recorded my videos. But I've seen a lot of people say that it's good to export on 1080p because Instagram videos are on 1080p. To me, it doesn't really matter. Whatever works best for you. If you feel like exporting in 1080p performs well for you, then just stick to exporting to 1080p. All right. But if it's exporting on 4K works well, then do 4K. Doesn't really matter. All right. Just test it out for yourself. So now what I'm going to do is head over to Instagram and post a video. Now, one thing that you guys need to be extremely careful about is when you're going to post it, you want to use the audio of Instagram and not your own. So let me just show you guys how that looks like. I'm going to go on plus. I'm going to choose the video that we just exported. Press on next. And what I'm going to do now is just leave this replay for about 2 to 3 times. So Instagram, for some reason, which I don't know if they fixed this or not, but you need to leave the video replay like 2 to 3 times before moving on to editing, because they need to kind of properly load up the entire video, get all the graphics correctly, whatever, just Instagram stuff. So just let it play for like 2-3 times. All right, now that I let it play for a few times, I'm just gonna go on next, and then I'm gonna just pause it just for the sake of. Go on this small little music icon with the plus. Go on my saved section and find the audio. So normally it should be right here. Whoa. I have 2 audios now playing at the same time, which is not what we want. So what we're going to do is we're going to choose our video.
you can see on the left hand side, you can see that our video has a section with an audio. And all I'm going to do is just press on it, and now it's muted. And the only audio that we can hear now is the one that we chose directly on Instagram. And the reason why we do this is because if we post our own original audio, Instagram is going to decrease our reach to non-followers and mostly post this to our followers. And let's say you are a beginner, you don't have a large following, you're starting from scratch, you want to benefit from as much reach as possible, and you want to use Instagram's already trending audios. So please do not post your own audios. Make sure that the audio that you are choosing is directly chosen from Instagram. So hopefully this makes sense. I'm going to do is make sure that the value is on 100 and then sync it to what we had it before. So I'm just going to adjust it to right here maybe. Let's see. Okay, so it's a bit too early, and our reference of course is the video that we have above. So what I'm going to do is probably just go right here. It should be good. All right, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Very simple, very easy. And I'm going to do now is press on next. Just copy paste the caption that I got from ChatGPT, or just write it up myself. Always preview. Let's press on preview. Make sure that everything looks nice. Make sure that everything looks aesthetically pleasing. And take your time. You do not have to rush this. All right, always preview your videos, because that is going to let you know how it's going to look like on somebody's reel section. And you have to preview it, because if you ever made a mistake, whether that be with the placement of the text, whether that be with the audio or whatever, you'll see it right there. So before posting, always preview. And of course, make sure that you scroll down, go on more options, go on upload at highest quality, and make sure that that is on. Never turn that off. All right, go back, and once you're ready, just press share. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is the snapshot strategy. Actually, before I conclude this video, I almost forgot. I gotta show you guys how to do that with your own B-roll. So let me head over to CapCut. I'm gonna use the same video as reference because we already have the audio right there. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm just gonna replace this. Let me see if I can replace it. Normally I should be able to. I'm gonna go on replace, and all I have to do is go on videos and just choose a video that I want to use. So let's say I want to use this video. Boom, it replaces it right there, right off the bat. Right, go on this one, scroll all the way to the right, replace videos, just choose another one. Let's say I want to use this one. Boom, fix it up, make it look nice. Boom, it's already synced up, so we don't have to waste any time. Go back to replace videos, find another B-roll. Let's say this one, same thing, doesn't really matter. Confirm. Easy, simple stuff, nothing complicated, nothing crazy. Now the next step is to, of course, to add a text. So right here I would just go on add text, and now I'll go value 1. Of course, right here, this is where you want to put in your information that you either got from ChatGPT or yourself. You add it here directly. Make sure that you have a nice font, a nice style, some nice effects, whatever. And what I'm going to do is, of course, make sure that this is big enough so people can see it. All right, so I'm going to just leave it on the middle of the screen just for the sake of this video. I'm going to zoom in, so just use my 2 thumbs and zoom in so I can make sure that the text is aligned with the clip. As you can see automatically, just like I said before, the auto magnet feature, it allows you to directly sync it to the clip. All right, so all I'm going to do the same thing again, zoom out, and then just scroll all the way down, boom, to my video. As you can see, it syncs up automatically. Let me show you guys how that looks like. All right, so I'm just gonna do the same thing over and over again. I'm gonna go over here, value 2, boom, get out of there, make sure that it's synced with the clip in the back, and then sync again with our clip, boom, as you can see automatically. And then just do it again for the next one. This could be a call to action for this one, it could be a value again, you can add in more clips, does not matter. Very simple, very easy stuff, guys. This is really not complicated. You do not have to overwhelm yourself with this. Let's see if there's anything that I missed. Oh yeah, so this is essentially how you would do it if you're just replacing. So let's say that the first video performed very well. Let's say that you posted it, right? Let's say you posted the Notes app version of this video and performed well, and you want to double down on it and make another version. This is how you would go about it. Just go boom, you go on the same video on CapCut, replace it, add some B-roll, boom, call it a day. If you're going to use the B-roll strategy from scratch because you have an Android, for example, I'm going to do is just close it and just start a new project and do the same thing over again, but instead just use all my B-roll in the beginning. So I'm just going to go right here. Let's say I'm just going to use 4 or 5, go boom, and then just make sure that everything is synced with the beat. So I have to, of course, go on plus one more time, scroll up, find the recording where I was talking about the audio. And then once again, guys, you already know the drill. Go on the video, scroll a bit down here until I found extract the audio. So right here, press on extract the audio. Audio is ready. Remove this. And all I have to do now is to make sure that everything is synced to the beat. All right, so I'm just gonna drag this to the left. All right, I'm just gonna boom, bring it back. And then all I'm gonna do is do the same thing that I did on the first video. So unfortunately okay, so this should be good. And just like I did in the last video, we're gonna do the same thing again. This video is a bit long, it's 10 seconds. All I'm gonna do is just drag it down to 0.8 seconds. Whoop, 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 0.8. Normally that should be good. Let me just zoom in a bit. Press on it, 0.9. Let's go over to 0.8. And just do the same thing over and over again until I have every single snapshot synced to the beat and I have my call to action, and then you just export it and then you post it on Instagram. All right, I know this was pretty long. It probably got a bit confusing. Hopefully you guys understood everything. I know that I kind of rambled and I yapped a bit. So if you guys ever have any questions, if you guys want another walkthrough, please do not hesitate. Let me know. Send me a DM on Instagram or book a call with me, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Now, before I go into the details of how to actually conduct a conversation in the DMs, you guys need to know some unbreakable rules that you need to have inside the DMs. And these are mistakes that I see beginners make every single time, and I'm giving you these for free so you can avoid these in the future. Number one is doing interviews. Nobody wants to have interviews in the DMs. So whenever you're speaking to your leads, act as if you're speaking with a friend. Don't use long paragraphs. Don't use a complicated, sophisticated language. Speak as if you were talking to a 15-year-old friend. So simple questions, simple sentences, nothing too complicated. Once again, you need to have this genuine feeling as if you're helping out and talking to a friend. Number two is you need to have this genuine passion and love to actually help them. The goal of the conversation is for you to get to understand them better, but also help them out if they want it. So don't be super needy. Don't be super desperate for a sale, because people can sense that in the DMs. And the moment you start being desperate for a sale, you're going to lose that lead very quickly. So once again, be human, be chill, be relaxed, just have a conversation with them and get to know them so you can help them. You want to also treat your DMs as if it was a nurturing system. So a lot of people will just leave their nurturing for email sequences, for example, but I like to use my DMs to not only give out more free resources, but also help them out and nurture them with whatever problem that they have. For example, if you have any VSLs, lead magnets, YouTube videos, emails, or just anything that you can give out for free to that specific lead that has a problem, give it to them. Help them out, because not only are they going to be more familiar with who you are and what you have to offer, but it also increases your chances of getting paid. Because what most people don't know is that within this whole online industry, that most people take about 1 to 2 months, sometimes even more, to actually buy your product. And the only way you can decrease that timeline or accelerate the time, better yet, is to nurture them in the DMs. So use your DMs to have conversations, help them out, and give them everything that you have for free so you can nurture them later on. That being said, throughout the conversation, you need to make it very human and very chill. So whenever you have an opportunity to share your own experience, share an opinion, or relate to them, take it, congratulate them, and tie that back to an experience that you had with the product that you're speaking about. Let's say, for example, that you are in a health niche and you're helping people lose weight without going to the gym, so they're only using the natural diets and remedies. You want to speak about how you've helped clients in the past achieve their goal of losing weight, or how you personally struggle with losing weight because you was doing all these common strategies that just weren't working. So you want to find any opportunity you can to relate to them and be human in the conversation. But keep in mind that number 3, you need to be in control. A lot of times I see a lot of people in the DMs, they're active, they're speaking, then the conversation just deviates. And instead of talking about losing weight, you're talking about anime. Nobody cares about that, and that is not going to get you paid. So keep in mind at all times that you need to be in control. So yes, you can relate to them. Yes, you can have a human conversation with them, but you need to always bring it back and have a few conversations in your arsenal to keep the conversation going. So just like I said before, you want to reply and come off as if you're super chill and you have an abundance mindset. So what do I mean by that? You don't really care if they buy or not, and you need to actually mean it. You need to embrace this abundance mindset, because if you don't, whenever you're having a conversation, you're gonna want the sale right away, and that is not going to happen. 9 times out of 10, people will not buy your product right away. They need some time to kind of get familiar with who you are, and you need to use your DMs to accelerate that time. So don't go for the sale right away. Don't sell them right away, because it doesn't make any sense. Don't be super desperate, don't be super needy. Embrace the abundance mindset and know that you are going to get paid whether they buy now or not. Another mistake I see a lot of beginners make is that, just like I said before, they treat the DMs as if it was an interview. You need to actually acknowledge the answers that the lead is giving you. So using words like, okay, cool, 100%, got you, I hear you, I understand where you're coming from, makes the conversation come off as more human and way more relaxed. And whatever they said, make sure that you do a smooth transition into your next question, or you tie it back to what you're going to say moving on. And this brings me to my next point, which is you only want to ask one question at a time, so you can avoid overwhelming them. You just want to understand where they're at, where they want to go, what's stopping them, and if they want some help. That's really the conversation. Doesn't have to be any more complicated. So don't do the mistake of asking them 2 questions, 3 questions back to back to back. Make the conversation human, and even if the question is literally about the same thing, keep it simple, keep it easy. You want to have this mindset that you're speaking with a friend, a 15-year-old friend. That being said, just like I said before, you want to maintain control throughout the entire conversation. Remember that you are the expert, and you need to show them results, whether that you got it for yourself or for other clients as well. So let's say, for example, that somebody is kind of, giving you a bit of objections and have a bit of tension and friction about them actually working with you or you helping them out, you can literally say that you've helped other people in the past achieve X results. So let's say, for example, that they tell you that they kind of struggle with procrastination. You can say that you used to struggle with procrastination as well, and you still made it happen. So you want to tie back to their experiences and the information that they gave you to this result. Now, if you don't have results, this can be a bit more different, but you can simply use other people's results to your advantage. At the end of the day, you want to show that you are in control, that you are the expert, and that you actually can help them out. Now, do not make the mistake of going into details and showing the how and explaining everything. You do not want to do that. You want to increase curiosity and use fear of missing out. You want to use this strategy to build more curiosity and make them want to buy your product. Don't make the mistake of teasing the solution or saying how you got results for somebody else, but then you go on and you yap about the exact details and the features. Do not do that mistake. Simply tease them and build that curiosity over time. Now that you understand certain rules that you should most definitely respect in the DMs, how do we actually conduct these conversations? So the first thing that you want to do, of course, is to simply connect with them and build a foundation. So simply ask them, yo, thanks for dropping a follow, thanks for dropping a like, and make sure that you also compliment something in their page. So let's say, for example, that they have a profile picture about Captain America and you like Captain America, compliment it. Let's say, for example, that they have a Bible verse in their bio, talk about it. You simply want to build a foundation to just get to know where they're at and say thank you for following. Just start up the conversation in a very simple way. Ask them what got them interested. Are they looking to start this journey? How has their journey been going so far? Very simple, very easy stuff to just build that foundation. Once that's done, you want to then qualify them. So you want to ask them what are their goals? Where do they want to be a few months down the line? Have they made any progress so far with what they're working with so far? And this is great because this will help you understand not only where they're at, where they want to be, so it's building that gap, but you also want to deepen the conversation by asking them why is that so important to them. It's very easy to say that you want to make money online, but the conversation gets way more deeper when somebody tells you that they want to make money online because they want to retire their parents, or they want to travel the world because they're stuck of being in their country. Any opportunity that you have to kind of make the conversation a bit more deep, take it. Now that you know their goals and why do they have those goals, you can ask them what have they tried to get there. A lot of times people, they have tried a few things but didn't really get much results, or they haven't tried anything yet. Either way, you want to kind of get an understanding of, are they actually committed about this, and what's stopping them from hitting their goal, which is the next question. What's stopping you right now from hitting that goal? A lot of times people are gonna say, yeah, they feel like they don't really know how to get there, so that's why they haven't gotten the success yet. And that's not really the case, but you don't want to say that yet. You need to kind of read between the lines. Some people say that they don't know how, but what they really need is a customized game plan for them, or for them to acquire the right skills to be able to achieve that goal. And this is something that you can use to your advantage. The goal here is to get as much data and as much information as possible, so you can then use that later on whenever they have any objections, or to follow up with them later on. That being said, once you kind of have an understanding of their goals, why is that so important to them, what have they tried, what's stopping them, you want to ask them, what do they think they need, or what do they think is missing for them to achieve that goal. And once again, this is just giving us more information and more data for us to use it in our arsenal, to then bring it back to them later on once we offer our product. Now, the converting section of this framework, so to say, which by the way, you shouldn't follow this word for word. You should modify this depending on your script, depending on your niche and your industry, which by the way, I'm going to be leaving this entire document in the description for free so you can check it out. But that being said, this section of converting is going to depend on your product and what is it that you have to offer. So if you're offering coaching, you can use this exact framework right here and then apply it to your niche. But if you are going to use it in the context of you selling a faceless mini course, for example, or a PDF, you can say, I've actually been helping a few people just like you who are getting started with X industry. So I put together a quick mini course that covers the basics. Cool if I drop the link for you? Now, in this specific context, you need to have an understanding of where the lead is at. If you see that throughout the conversation, they're literally sending you a bunch of paragraphs, they seem like they're very enthusiastic about things, they might have a higher chance of buying the product right off the bat. But if you see that they're giving you dry answers, that they're not really convinced about what you got going on, that's totally fine. Don't pitch the product yet. Take this opportunity to send them a free YouTube video, a VSL, a sales page, a free lead magnet, an automated campaign system, whatever. Send them something that's going to nurture them a bit more so they can become familiar with what you have going on. Once again, the goal of the DMs is not only get to understand them more, get some feedback so we can create a good product, but also help them out in any way that we can. So if you feel like they're not really 100% sure about where they want to be at, then you offer them a free product that you have. And I almost forgot, before you even think about pitching anything, you want to ask them, do they want any help? For example, I hear you, bro, do you want any help with that? Very simple question. 9 times out of 10, they're going to say yes. If they say no, take that as a sign very seriously. If they say that they don't want any help, don't even bother and just following up with them like a geek. You might send them a message here and there like every 2 to 3 weeks. That's fine. But if they say that they don't want any help, then just move on to the next person. Now, if they say that they do want help, you can ask them if this is something that they want to fix or get into ASAP, or is this a later thing? And this question is extremely important because this is going to determine their level of commitment, their level of seriousness when it comes to them actually achieving their goals. And once again, 9 times out of 10, they're going to say ASAP. They want to fix this ASAP. Now, keep in mind, depending on your industry, I know for my industry, which is making money online, a lot of people say that they want to get into this ASAP, they want to fix their problem ASAP, but then when it's time to actually take action, read a document, or invest, they disappear. So just take that with a grain of salt. But once they've shown that they actually want the help, that they're actually committed, and they do want the help ASAP, then from there you can then offer whatever product you have to offer, whether that be a free call, whether that be a free product, whether that be a free VSL, YouTube, whatever. You send them something for free, and then you follow up with them later on. So let's say 4 days, 5 days after, you send them a message, yo, how's it going? Do you get a chance to go over what I sent you a few days ago? And then from there, you bring back up the conversation by using certain things that they told you before. So if they told you before that they had an issue with procrastination and you send them a video that specifically targets procrastination, you tell them, yo, I remember you kind of struggling with procrastination. I made a video about it. Here you go. By the way, have you made any progress so far with your goal of being more productive? And then you have the conversation going on. You're basically just building rapport, getting all this information and getting to know them a bit more, building this relationship. And then when you feel like it's the right time to actually offer your paid product, then go ahead and do it. Depending on your industry, there are going to be a lot of times where people are going to give you a bit of objections. You're going to have a bit of friction, a bit of tension in the DMs, and that's totally fine. And you need to handle these objections like an expert, like a professional. So if you feel like you need any help or you want me to create a video actually going over how to handle objections in the DMs, literally say it in the comments. I'm gonna happy to record that video and drop it right away, or just send me a DM on Instagram and I'm gonna happy to kind of personalize this whole thing for you. In the next couple of minutes, I'm going to expose to you the only reason why you are still broke and stay in the same cycle every single year of poverty. And it's all connected to this one quote by Alex Hormozy. And it says like this: successful people see opportunity in every failure. Normal people see failure in every opportunity. Both are right, only one gets rich. And if you're watching this video and you can't even sit down for the next 10 minutes and listen to something that's actually going to help you understand why you're broke and how to fix it, then you don't want to be successful. That being said, bring out your pen and paper because this is going to get deep. I know the quote that I just said sounds super obvious, right? But it is 100% true. 2 years ago, I was just like you, broke, in debt, and struggling in this paycheck to paycheck cycle. I was waking up every single day literally hating my life. I hated the warehouse job I was working. I hated the degree I was studying in college. I hated every single minute so much that I would literally count the minutes until I had my next break. I spent 10-hour days, 12-hour days, stacking the boxes, going up and down with a bunch of manual labor, and it mentally and physically drained me. And at the end of the month, I barely had enough to even survive. No matter how hard I worked, no matter how much effort I put in, there weren't any promotions, there weren't any bigger opportunities, there was no way out. And the worst part is, deep down, I knew that I was meant for more. I felt like I had the potential to be more. But every single time that I tried to escape, every single time I failed. So I did what most people do. I told myself a story. Maybe success isn't for me. Maybe I wasn't born lucky. Maybe this whole thing is a scam. Maybe I should just accept it and move on with life. Maybe this is just how life goes. This is maybe the reality of things. And that is the exact reason why most people stay broke forever. Most people say two things. They either say, number one, I don't have enough money, or they say, number two, right now is not the right time. But let's be honest for a second and actually break this down. You probably have the newest iPhone right now in your hands right now, but then you say you're broke. You probably spend a bunch of money buying a bunch of designer clothes, but then you complain about not being able to invest in a $500 course. You probably spend all of your money on Uber Eats 5 times a week and then complain about you not having enough money at the end of the month. You probably spend hours gaming on your PS5, scrolling on Instagram, and then wonder why you don't have enough time. Or you're probably spending hours on Netflix, on Disney Plus, or whatever else, and then you wonder why you don't have enough money for mentorship. And the problem here is not that you don't have enough money, it's that you keep spending it on the wrong things. Because if you're broke right now, every single dollar you have should be attributed to two things. Either number one, acquiring new skills that will make you more money, or investing into some sort of knowledge that will obviously make you more money. So yes, that means courses, coaches, mentoring, private communities, networking events, anything that's actually gonna get you close to your goal of making more money. Because bro, just think about it for a second. Who do you think gets success quicker? The guy who spends hours on YouTube just trying to figure everything out on his own with free videos, or the guy that actually becomes resourceful and spend his money to actually speed up the learning curve for him to become successful? The difference between you being broke right now and you being successful in a matter of months is just priorities. If you keep spending money on things that don't make you more money, you're going to stay exactly where you are right now, broke and probably in debt. But the moment you start investing in knowledge, in high income skills, and actually getting the right connection, that's when you start changing. That's when you start succeeding. Also, one of the biggest lies people tell themselves is that, oh, right now is not the best time. But once again, let's be honest about this and break it down. When exactly is the right time? When does life magically get easier? When do you just suddenly wake up with more money in your bank account? When exactly are you actually gonna see everything align and then you're suddenly ready? Let's be real, bro, that's not gonna happen. People always have a reason to wait. Oh, I'll start when I have more money, or I'll start when I'm less busy, or I'll start when I'm more confident, I'll start when I have more time. But me and you both know that the perfect time does not exist. There will always be obstacles, there will always be challenges, there will always be moments where you think, maybe I should just push this off a bit. And that's exactly why most people never change their lives. Instead of taking action and facing that challenge, what they do is they convince themselves that waiting or pushing this to the side is the smarter option. So let me ask you this, bro. Within the next 6 months, what's really going to change? I mean, you'll still have bills to pay, you'll still be tired after work, you'll still be overwhelmed for the fact that you don't have much information, you still won't have enough time. So when is something going to change? If anything, life is just going to keep getting harder and harder. More responsibilities, more problems, more bills, more distractions. The difference between people that actually win and those that stay stuck is simple. Winners start before they feel ready. They are constantly taking action while everybody else is just waiting for the perfect moment. They understand that success isn't about waiting for the right time, it's about taking advantage of the opportunity right now and going all in. They understand that success is not about finding the right time, it's about making the right time. Look at anyone who's built real wealth. Do you think they had all the answers when they started? Do you think they felt completely ready when they started? No. They started when it was messy, they started when they had doubts, they started when they were afraid, they started no matter how they felt or what was going on in their environment. And that is exactly why they succeed. The best time to start is when you're the most afraid. The best time to start is when you're the most uncomfortable. The best time to start is when you have the most doubts, because that's when you start actually growing. The more you delay this goal, the harder it's going to be over time. The more you delay, the more you push it to the side, the more you fall behind. And the more you hesitate, the more you doubt, the more you wait, the more you are creating a habit of inaction in your life. So I'm gonna ask you again, bro, if not now, then when? So I'm gonna break it down to you real quick if you didn't understand. The only reason why you keep being broke every single year and you keep feeling unfulfilled in life, like you're wasting your potential, is because you keep spending your money on the wrong shit. All the money you get, you spend it on distractions, on quick pleasures, and on things that aren't moving the needle forward towards your goals. And the worst part is that you keep pushing the decision because you think that tomorrow is gonna be a better day. You think that later is gonna be better. And you keep telling yourself, oh yeah, you know, I'll do it next week, or I'll do it next month, or I'll do it next year. And deep down, you know that you're not doing this, that you're not making a decision today because you're afraid of investing in yourself, because you're afraid of failure, because you're afraid of actually taking that risk. Now, you probably think that the real failure is you taking that risk and not making any money. But the real failure here is you staying where you are for the rest of your life. If you don't take that risk, if you don't make that investment, if you don't make that decision, your life is going to keep being the same. You're going to keep waking up every single day unfulfilled. You're going to feel like you're wasting your potential. You're going to keep being broke. You're going to keep being in debt. And you're not going to get anywhere in life. So in other words, nothing is going to change. You're going to look back a few years down the line at this moment right now and then be full of regret that you didn't take that decision, that you didn't take that risk, that you didn't make the investment, because you're gonna realize that your life was pretty much the same thing every single day of unfulfillment, of being broke and not living life to your standards. But if you do stay in that same situation, you're guaranteeing yourself one thing, that you won't succeed. The truth is, successful people see opportunity in every failure. Normal people see failure in every opportunity. Now, both of them are right, and only one gets rich and the other one stays stuck. So you gotta be honest with yourself right now and ask yourself, which one are you going to be? So the choice is yours, bro. You need to stop being afraid. Take action and make that decision. Take advantage of this opportunity that you have in your hands right now and don't let it just fly away. Take advantage of the time that you have right now and make the most out of it. Because trust me, whatever decision you make today within the next 2 years, 3 years is going to be completely different depending on what you decide today. And if you want that decision, if you want those next 2 to 3 years to look on the brighter side, then you need to do something about that today. So what I'm saying here, bro, is that you have the opportunity right now. Don't let it slip away. And if you watch this video and you chose to be the guy that is resourceful, that takes advantages of opportunities and is actually successful, then send me a DM on Instagram or book a free call with me down below, and we'll have a one-on-one conversation on helping you actually get started and making $5K per month passively. So if you have any questions, any concerns, or you just want to have a one-on-one conversation, book a free call with me, or you can send me a DM on Instagram. That being said, talk soon.